I genuinely believe in what a financial advisor does. And it's not because I don't think AI can do many of the tactical things that a financial advisor does and is going to do in the future, but it's because the relationship trust and the behavioral coaching is needed,
Mm.
frankly, far before the liquidation event. And what I think the future can hold for financial advisors is to be able to scale the same way we were scaling college professors, those relationships so that you can have touch and influence years before somebody has a liquidity event. Because what I lived through is I didn't have a financial advisor as we went through pretty major cap table decisions, debt decisions, financing decisions. And you have your board, but the board, you certainly hope everybody has all the same shared interests, but there's always some degree of conflicting interest because, you know,
Sure.
one might have certain rights on the cap table, certain equity ownership, certain marks to hit with their LPs. And so there's not always the same interest between the investors and the founders. And there's somewhat of a taboo when a founder is bringing up the exit horizon. Now, I have a great mentor, Mark Ackler, wrote a
Mm.
book called Exit Right, where they talk about you should have an exit conversation every year. However, we weren't doing that. So then, we're still in the trenches of this. I get married, right? You have your first kid, and you still haven't really brought some of these long-term decisions and how decisions today are factoring into that future scenario. You haven't brought those to the table because as the founder, it's like, well, taboo to talk about when the exit happens, right? Taboo, frankly, to talk about a down round on a podcast like this. And so that's why I love the spirit of Money Tales is like you bring these conversations to the fold early. But yeah, if you don't have some kind of coach in your corner when you're 25 building this company, you can make some pretty pivotally wrong decisions that'll impact you when you're 35 with kids.